That looks friggin' sweet. It's just enough. That's cool. Come this way. Come see what I'm doing. So, in my effort of testing today, I accidentally cut one of my wires. So I'm just splicing it back together. So I made a mistake. I have been screwing around with the wiring back here for the last hour, trying to figure out why I had one of my lines short out on me. Only to remember that the socket that I was using grounds through the housing, not the wire. So that was an hour wasted, but I'm back on track now, and then finish up the installation so we can finally put the roof panels in. That's what we're doing. I shouldn't point it directly at the light. Whoops. So a lot of people ask, where did I learn to do all of this stuff? And it's credit to my dad, John. Him and I have built a lot of cars together, and it hasn't been until recently that we've decided to show people what we do.
Great.
Okay, so now,
For your next trick,
the next one is here.
hold on, I have too many things.
Right there.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's angry at me. Okay, so the next one is here.
And this guy that we cut previously,
Oh goody, this guy here will work. I don't have to remake everything.
yeah, he's gonna work great.
Okay, yeah, well, kind of. I still, remember, need to splice him in somehow. And this is very, very, very tight. So, today I am trying to figure out what mess I have made with the wiring. This is going back 4 or 5 months, and I was kind of forced to stop because I needed to get something else done. And now I'm back at wiring. So hopefully by the end of the day I'll have the wipers officially wired up, and maybe the lights, and that might do it. So as you can see, I've spent the last hour and a half running wiring back and forth, back and forth. All of this so the wipers can move up and down. And let's just hope that I did it right.
So this is also that the wipers on the bus can go swish, swish, swish.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Oh yeah. So you know what I don't like about wiring?
What?
I don't like the fact that I pretty much have to bring most of my shop outside to do this. Because there's so many specialized little tools and there's so many specialized little things. I don't know where my wire strippers went. I found that wiring is one of those skills that you kind of forget a little bit about. At least I do. Until I'm forced to wire again. Okay, so I wish Kate didn't go away because I don't quite remember. So the white here is terminal number 1. So the white here is terminal number 1. I know you probably can't hear it, but there's an audible click. You see? That'll white to white. Okay, green is the next one with an audible click. Nice. Number 3 is going to be the red wire. Okay, number 3 had a nice click. Yellow is going to be the next one here. Yellow had a nice click. Then lastly, black. Black had a nice click. Okay. Take a little bit of tape, which is here. Wrap this guy up really nicely. Okay, plug this in, like so, and voila! Alright, I've got one more wire to cut and plug in, and then I can turn this thing on. So, now, let me set myself in here. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit so I can get this thing fired up. I'm just going to connect these guys without the covers because I'm going to be back in here later on. Now, let's see here. Well, that's awesome. But I did forget to do one thing.
Hey, look at my carrot.
Oh wow, look at that. I just realized I forgot one massive aspect of this.
What?
I didn't run it through the fuse, which is no big deal. But now we have wipers wired live, which is fine. But I'm gonna need to figure out, I'm gonna have to go back to the book and just undo this one. It's wired correctly. All I have to do is figure out which line is wipers and run it through the fuse before I go to the power distribution block.
Okay.
So right now it's no different than running a jump pack, but it works.
Angel.
Okay, so day 2 of my wiring nightmare. Today I've got a couple more pins and connectors I have to do, and then I can finish the loom and finally finish this harness here, which is for the wiper motors. If you've ever done wiring before, you know it's not very exciting. It's very tedious and it's very boring. So, let's finally start it. So this here is just a single pin connector, and it's for the ground, the turn signals. So when we first took ownership of this bus, the first thing that I realized very quickly was that the original 70-year-old wiring sucked. It was full of mouse feces, it was ripped and torn, and it's not something that I would have ever felt safe operating with my family. I would always have a back of the mind, oh my God, is this thing going to catch fire? It was also positive ground. So that means your 12 volts was actually negative, and the whole bus was grounded that way. So what I decided to do very, very, very quickly was convert the entire bus over to regular negative ground. I cannot see the clip on that. So then we took all of the wiring out, and there had to have been at least a couple thousand feet worth of old wiring. It was all that cloth style wiring, and it ran down both sides. So what I did was I put in a chaseway, and I rewired the whole bus to just the most simplistic systems, and I made all of my connections right behind me rather than all throughout the bus.
We still have some old wires here you have to get rid of.
Yep, we do. Fun fact, doing pins is my least favorite aspect of automotive wiring. I like when everything's together and it works. And you know what's worse is I have the entire Corvette to do too.
Yeah, you ripped all of that out.
Yeah, because it's all computer controlled, and I don't want anything computer controlled any longer. Okay, so everything works except for the turn signals, and it's because I don't have a ground on it yet. Okay, that looks a lot neater. God, this sucked. So this past weekend, Dad and I did the front windshield area, the front driver's cockpit, and now it means it's my turn to finish up wiring. So ever since we bought the bus, I've had the idea of taking these retro reflectors, cutting out the back, putting some sort of container on them, and putting a light in it. That way you can blink like the old Chevy square bodies, where the front signal will blink and then the side signal will blink. This is just a trial. I've never done this before. I've never soldered something like this before, but I'm gonna try this. And yes, I'm using a cat food can as my test, and maybe even permanent if it works. So I'm gonna get these drilled out, and we'll start. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I don't know if cat food cans is the way to do this. Probably not. But hey, reuse and recycle, right? And I had my CNC machine cut these out perfectly. And my idea is to solder up a nice little joint around there. Also, something I've never done before is soldering two different types of metals. Actually, no, these are both aluminum. Well, either way, I've never soldered pieces together like this. I've only ever done wiring. So, we're going to give it a shot. And I'm sure there's someone out here who knows better than I do, but that's a part of building. It's fun. You get to try and experiment. Let's see here. I got to think about this. This goes through the bus. So I got to be on the outer wall here. Ooh. Well, that worked. And I'm sure our cat, Miss Kitty, does not mind that I'm stealing her old food containers. Okay, so this is what I decided to do. I'm going to take an 1/8 or a 1 1/8 inch hole, drill it in the back here, and then I will get a plug or a grommet that fits this that can be removed to service the light bulb. Okay, if I can't get a grommet that size, then I'll put just a piece of foil tape over it. Which reminds me, I gotta put a piece of foil tape in here also, so that it reflects. Maybe I'll just do that. When it does break, I'll deal with that then. That might be the better option. Because this whole unit is gonna be able to come out from the bus. So there's no service on the inside. Hey, look at that. And she's in there. It's not going anywhere. All right. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go and get the jump pack, strip these off, and bring the jump pack in. Okay. So, we're gonna strip these, then attach the jumper cables onto it. Black to black, red to red. Okay, so that lights up. Let me go turn off the light. Let's see how the... So I guess what I'm looking for is there a hot spot on it? Kind of. Yeah, when you look right at it, it's pretty obvious. How am I gonna fix that? Maybe I don't. Maybe I own it. Well, one idea that is running through my head is, what if I paint the inside of this can black so it's not so reflective? The other idea is, what if I get orange bulbs? Orange 194 bulbs. That might be a better option. 194 orange bulbs. Well, 2 orange and 2 red. Because these fronts are orange and the back are red. Alright, I think I'm close. I think this idea works. I can service the back of the bulb with some pliers or tweezers. Needle nose pliers. Pull that out. Tape that up. Bob's your uncle. Bam. Done. So I'm back from Napa. And as I was sitting here, I was saying to myself, how can I make this not so bright? Well, by getting standard bulbs, I can make it not so bright. That says a definite. So, let's try this again, shall we? Okay. Hey, that's all right. That's a lot better. Oh, it would be if it stayed on. That's pretty okay. So now I'm gonna try to solder this. Solder these two pieces together. So that's the bottom. So it's gotta go up like this. No real idea if this is gonna work. Never done anything like this. Okay. So the flux is on. This is also my first time with this thing, because mine broke. You know, I think I should get some smaller saw. Ah. I swear this is not working. This isn't working for shit. Maybe I should just glue it together. Oh, I think I bought a big piece of junk. Okay, so I found out what I did wrong. This method would never work. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up and I'm gonna opt for some construction adhesive. Okay, so I realized very quickly that trying to solder these two pieces together sucks. I am clearly not as skilled as I need to be to do it. But that's okay. So I went down to Brewster Ace, my favorite store, and I picked up some JB Weld. But before I crack open that, I'm gonna finish drilling the rest of these. That way I can do all four at one time. Okay, so I'm back finally. These are my two cat food cans that I've modified by drilling a hole into. I ran out of cat food cans, so I had to go buy more cat food. And boy, oh boy, did I look like a nutcase in the supermarket with a tape measure measuring cat food cans. So, if you saw me there, that's what I was doing. I was buying cat food cans specifically for the purpose of the bus and measuring them like a total weirdo. Anyway, you might be noticing that I switched my jacket, and I am super excited to promote the Watkins DIY sweatshirts, hoodies, and t-shirts. Although we don't have a website yet, I am working on one, and this stuff will be available there. So you can get yours at the site. And boom, just like that, she's in. But we can still pull this out if need be. And it's just kind of pressure fit there with a little twist. Who knew that cat food cans could be used for your bus? Okay, so there's four. So now I gotta blow these guys out and then get the epoxy mixing. So I've never used this, but this is JB Weld. And I'm gonna use it to, this stuff smells. I'm gonna use it to try to seal these two together. That might be a lot. What am I supposed to do with this? I think it's just push it out, mix it. Okay. Last one. What do you think, huh?
Looks good.
Pretty good.
And I gotta go inside
Why?
to make some bread.
Okay. Well, we're done. I'm done. Okay. There goes nothing. Nope, wrong one. Keep your face clear.
Oh, look, I can see in the bus.
Yeah, this is terrible.
He made a hole. Moment of truth.
That's really gonna suck if the holes don't line up at all. Oh no, look at that. The holes line up pretty close. We'll keep these screws or not, but they work for now. Just to kind of hold them in place.
Yep. There you go.
Why, are you realizing that is a cat food can?
Yeah,
Not certs.
I always do this. I see now. That's really cool, Dad. You're very smart.
Where's the dog?
Dog goes over there.
Great. Okay. Now I feel better about having these things secured. And we can put Loctite on them if we ever need to.
What's that?
It's a thread locker so it can't back out. That looks friggin' sweet. It's just enough. That's cool. Ah, that's sweet.
Do it again.
Okay, buddy,
We
you're
did some stuff here and we're trying to do some more. Honestly,
do you know what we're doing?
we're trying to fix the bus actually. So we just had a friend come over, 2 friends actually, and we might do some more actually. So let's get tuned.
Need to be facing that post.
Oh,
Careful.
yeah, you